Hey y'all, welcome to or welcome back to the channel, whichever way the situation may be. I got a few questions on that video that I did on how to dedicate more RAM to the IGPU inside of the Ryzen 4 2400G, which is Vega 11 graphics. This little video is just going to be to kind of answer these questions and see if you should actually dedicate more RAM to your IGPU within the 2400G. I'll be right back and we'll get to the bottom of it. Alright all, like I said in the intro, I got a couple comments in my how to dedicate more RAM to the IGPU, and we're going to cover them, and we're going to see if you should be dedicating more RAM to your IGPU and what the benefits of it is. Solid Malter, he says, thanks for the video. Did you benchmark the system before and after the changes? If so, what were the benefits of allocating more memory to the iGPU? Will a 2200G have the same benefits as the 2400G with 8 gigs of total memory? Well, I'm going to answer part of this question, but as far as the 2200 and the 2400, I don't have the 2200 to do the test on. I sold that system a long time ago. Like y'all know, I went out and rebought the 2400G and the motherboard and the RAM and everything to be able to do some of these videos for y'all. So, but we are going to see if it does, what kind of benefits you get out of it. There's somebody else that asked the question as well. Entertainment Arena says that Dave's Techway, does this increase gaming performance? I pulled my graphics card back out of my system and set it back up as it was running off integrated graphics. I only ran 2 benchmarks to test this with. Everybody says benchmarks, the synthetic benchmarks is close to what real game performance would be. So that's what I did today. Alright guys, here's the first one that I ran. It was Time Spy Extreme. Alright guys, here's my Time Spy results. On the left hand side here you can see it's the auto settings. It dedicates how much RAM it wants to the graphics card. And on the right hand side here, that's with 2 gigs. Now keep in mind, when I did these tests, they was running at 3000 megahertz, which is what XMP sets the RAM to. In Time Spy, with the auto settings, you can see we got a 1225 score. And with the 2 gigs of RAM, it jumps up to 1228. That's 3 points higher on Time Spy, which is pretty good. So the auto don't bounce you up quite as high as what 2 gigs would get you. Alright guys, and here's the difference in having benchmark. As you can tell down here on having benchmark, on the right it tells you it was running at 1024 megabits of RAM. And over here on the right side over here, it's showing 2048 megabits, which means the one on the right is running the 2 gigabytes of RAM. The difference in the Heaven benchmark ain't quite as much, in my opinion, as what they was in the Time Spy. With the auto settings, you got 31.7 frames per second. With 2 gigs, you got 31.9. With the auto, you're getting 799 of a score. 2 gigs, you're getting 802. Minimum frames, with the auto, you're getting 19.4. Minimum frames with the 2 gigabit, you're getting 19.6. Maximum frame is 64.1 on the auto, and 64.0 with the 2 gigs of RAM. So after looking at the charts here, or after looking at these video clips I got and seeing the results that I've got, do I think it's really worth going in and taking a few seconds just to dedicate more RAM to your video, to the iGPU on these processors? I'd say no. And yeah, as you can tell by the benchmarks, and it's going to depend on the games that you're playing, but by dedicating that RAM straight to the GPU or the CPU, that's going to knock you down by 2 gigs of RAM on the rest of the system. Or I think the system could better utilize the RAM if you left it available for the system to use. You know, everybody thinks it's all about GPU performance, but if your system RAM if you don't have enough system RAM and you don't have enough cores on your processor, it's going to affect the GPU scores. Of course, you're running IGPU, so you ain't going to get that big of a benefit either way. But it's kind of up to you if you think it's worth, like I said, I only did 2 benchmarks. If you've got the system, you got the 2400G, run your own tests and with the games that you like and see if there's much of a benefit or if there's any benefit. If you don't, it's pretty well a personal decision. Me, I think I wouldn't dedicate RAM to the IGPU. I think I just let the system figure out how much RAM it needs. That's kind of my conclusion on this, guys. With the way these processors and the motherboards and everything are nowadays, and the way Windows 10 is, they're pretty optimized to give you the best performance that you got with the hardware that you have. I don't see much of a benefit. I don't think it's worth a little bit of a better score in the benchmarks like what I showed you here today. If you like what you saw here today, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like what you saw here. Use that comment section on me. Let me know what you think about what I'm doing here on the channel. If you got any ideas for any other videos. If you really liked what you saw here today, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. That way you can get notified the next time that I put out a video. And I'm also going to try to get a little bit more active on Twitter and Instagram, which both of them is at Dave's Tech Way. If you'd like to follow me over there, I'm going to try to put up some screenshots and some pictures and whatnot. Try to get out there a little bit better on some other social media sites. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.